morning and welcome, Bermuda Union of Teachers. It is an absolute privilege to be with you today, and I am honored to speak with you about reloading. Now, you might ask yourself, what is she going to tell me about reloading? What could she possibly understand about us reloading? Well, here's the truth. I am Shalita Shaw. I am a tenured professor and I've been doing this over 20 years. But it is within the last few years that I too had to go through a reloading. Listen, in the fall of 2020, I had one of the most tumultuous years of my life, not to mention one of the most tumultuous semesters. The truth is, my parents had grown ill and they ended up going to heaven. And so how I was going to deal with that while still being a teacher, not just a teacher, but a teacher during the pandemic, was something that I would soon discover would neither be easy nor would it be a challenge I could not meet. Here's the deal. In the middle of all of that, I learned that although the big buzzword, right, everything that people were saying about teachers revolved around the word burnout, I discovered that what we have going on is really not burnout. What's going on with teachers, and I mean the good teachers, you know, the ones that are here really to impact the lives of another generation, the ones who show up so that we can change their minds and impact their lives, the good teachers like myself. Here's the truth. We haven't burned out. Burnout would be too simple. What is going on with us is we have a broken spirit. Where does the school, where does the classroom, where does administration come in then if we have a broken spirit? I'll tell you, the first thing they need to do is stop waiting on a specific incident to occur. Don't let an accident happen before you pay attention to the mental, emotional, physical, professional, and sustainable mood and position and disposition of your teacher. Let that become your norm. Let that become your everyday commitment to the teachers. Because here's the truth. When you take care of the teachers take care of the students. Our call on our life is to be good teachers to those we have been assigned to. But in order to do that, the oil must run top down. The oil must run top down. Let me say that again. The oil must run top down. And so how can that be done? Well, I'll tell you. On my journey, I discovered 5 key things that led me to the definition of broken spirit. If you identify with any of these 5 things, then I absolutely charge you to start recognizing them, being honest about them, being authentic about them, so that we can start teaching from the place that I teach now. It is the intersection of trauma and triumph. So here's the 5 things. First, we start to have absenteeism. Now, not just being absent, because that's a normal thing that will happen with any professional. But for teachers, when we're absent, we love to tell you why. Our daughter has a dentist appointment. We have to go see about our parent. When we start being absent and we no longer give a reason why, that is a sign of broken spiritness. What about our attire? Listen, I'll be honest and tell you, there was a time that if I could put on yoga pants and Crocs and a sweatshirt, school sweatshirt, but if I could put on that sweatshirt and get to class, I was doing good. That is a sign. We love to impress our students. Part of what we teach them is how to show up in the world. When that stops happening, it's a sign. When we stop doing volunteerism, when we're not doing extracurricular activities, when we're no longer willing to stay after, we're out the door as soon as the students are out the door. That is a sign. We're not being insubordinate. We are actually calling for help. Somebody pay attention to the fact that I'm not doing okay. I'm not burnt out though, because the curriculum is still turned in. The lesson plans are still turned in. I am actually showing up. I haven't missed an email, but the assignments are not as effective because we're in broken spiritedness. Another thing is all of those outside relationships, co-workers. We're meeting up for lunch. We're taking walks during our lunchtime and campus time are no longer happening. That is a sign of absenteeism. And when we're no longer giving a reason why, because again, teachers love to talk. Y'all know it. Exhibit A. When we're no longer doing that, that is a sign of broken spiritedness. And then the final one, the biggest one, if I can confess for me, I take great pride in knowing the names of my students. And during that time that I spoke to you about, I didn't retain any names. I started doing things like, yes, sir. Good morning, beautiful. Yes, ma'am. You have a question, ma'am? That is a sign of broken spiritedness. See, when it's hard for you to show up in the world, you have a hard time showing up for them. You have a hard time showing out for them. And so what I am asking the Bermuda Union of Teachers to take a moment. Think about this list. If you identify with one, two, or all of those things, please know it's not you, it's us. We're in this together. And you have an opportunity now to deal with that authentic place, that space that allows you to be honest about the challenges and the struggles, that space that allows you, like me, to teach from trauma and from triumph. That is the charge. And I make it not because it happened to me. I make it because if I can move through it, you can move through it. But the only way to move through it is for us to do it together. So from administration to the union to my beloved teachers, I offer you a space where we can now teach, not looking for the darkness, but watching for the yellow. I'm Shalita Shaw, and it has been a privilege to talk to you this morning. I love you. Mwah.